Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over the differences between job order costing and process costing. So when a company produces its products, it has to assign its production costs to its production quantity. And job order costing and process costing are just two of the main ways that companies can use to do that. And how they decide which one to use, job order or process costing, depends on what kind of product we make and at what quantity. So let's say, for example, we are a couch company and we produce customizable couches for our clients. So the couch that we make today is going to be different than the couch that we make tomorrow, and so on and so forth. So for a couch, right, you'd have the couch frame and then the fabric that goes over it, and then all these cushions and seats that are of different shapes and sizes. So already you have that this product is customizable. And so when we have a customizable product, we want to use job order costing. So job order costing is used for products that are customizable. And guess what? Here's the keyword: heterogeneous, which means different from one another. All right, so we've already decided we're using job order costing. Now we have to present all of our production costs onto what's called a job order cost sheet. So it's really simple. We just have to give this job a name. Let's say job 616A cost sheet. All right. So in this cost sheet, it's really simple. All we need to input is direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Now, your direct materials and direct labor are going to be your prime cost, and your direct labor and manufacturing overhead, that's called your conversion cost. But yeah, you don't really need to know that. I just thought I'd let you know. Yeah, so it's going to be really easy. That's all we have to do to show our production costs under job order costing. Now let's say, let me give a different example. Say we're a company that produces straws. So we supply straws to all the fast food chains, Burger King, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, what have you. And so for that, right, our straws are going to be the same as all the other straws that we make, because it's just straws. It's going to be the same length, the same thickness. So for that, we want to use process costing, because we're going to be making the straws at a large quantity as well. So these straws, they're going to be non-customizable. They'd be homogeneous. So it's just the opposite of heterogeneous. Homogeneous, this means like the same. All right, and for these now we have to present our production costs once again. So it's going to be a bit different than the job cost. We're not going to have that. We're going to have a few more items, but don't worry, it's still going to be easy. We have raw materials. And then because we're making straws, right? So we need to have different work in process accounts, because we're going to be doing different things to it. So maybe you'd have like, I don't know, work in process melting, work in process molding, work in process cutting, I guess, to cut the mold into the straw shape. And then you'd have finished goods. So remember, finished goods are all of our inventory that has completed production and is ready to be sold. So over here, so let's say we have to move in between our accounts, right? So let's say we have our raw materials, we purchased raw materials. Now we need to start it into production. So we purchase our plastic or paper, and now we just have to start it into production. I guess plastic, because we're going to be melting it. So remember, inventory is an asset account, so it has a debit normal that's too small. So yeah, work in process. So we're moving from raw materials to work in process melting. We would debit our work in process melting and credit our raw materials. And the same thing, if we move from, let's say, work in process molding to work in process cutting, or I guess we would then debit work in process cutting and work in process molding. All right, and the same thing for work in process. If we're moving from work in process cutting to finished goods, we would debit our finished goods and then credit work in process cutting. So now let's say we have all this inventory in finished goods, all this inventory that's ready to be sold. Now we have a client that wants to buy our straws, right? So we're going to make a sale, and so we need to move these goods, these inventory, out of finished goods, and we need to expense them as cost of goods sold. Now remember, cost of goods sold is an expense account which also has a debit normal, just like assets. So every time we increase it, every time we make a sale, we need to debit our cost of goods sold to expense it for the amount that we sold. So we have cost of goods sold. We're going to debit that, and then we're going to credit our finished inventory for the sale, and to record that we have lost that inventory. We've sold it now. All right, well, those are the differences between job order and process costing. This is just a very brief introduction to these cost systems. If you guys want me to go and do a deep dive, I definitely can. Just be sure to leave a comment below, and be sure to leave a like as well. But thanks for watching. Have a good day, you guys.